want that. Special delivery. I need that. Special delivery. Here with MaZhe, gonna break down everything they don't know and should know about what I learned. Got him on the phone lines right now. How you doing?
Tight. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm just chilling.
I'm good. I'm so excited by your excitement. This is great. Thank you for joining me.
Wow, no problem. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy.
Of course, but the people really need to know about what I learned. This project is so musical, so honest, interesting, has array of emotions. It's also very like a coming of age. Just an incredible project that I definitely feel that everybody should listen to. And you had released music beforehand. A lot of that you've kind of, it seems like you've taken off of the internet and kind of started fresh. What was it like approaching this project, what I learned?
Well, thank you for all of that. And yes, I fucking took off my old music because that shit was whack to me. So I was like, ew, I was tired of looking at it. But my start for the project, it's really like how you said, it was just like a coming of age thing where I was just growing up, just getting older. I kind of just got out of high school. Mm-hmm. And I was just living like kind of regular life while, also, doing music and shit. So it was just like me becoming aware of the things that I was dealing with in my life, or the things that I was happy about, or the things that I, wasn't happy about, or whatever. Like, it was just like me realizing all those things and like putting them down. Things that I liked, things that I hated, things that I agreed or disagreed with social norms or whatever. Like, it was just my raw kind of thoughts just put down, like at that moment in time, whenever I wrote whatever I wrote and recorded. But it was pretty grueling though too. Just being transparent in general is can be a tough thing to do. And then, translating that into music was kind of like, not necessarily like a challenge, but just like another experience for me. Being creative with it and shit like that, and transitioning and like moving out to LA and shit, and working on it consistently, shit like that. It's like a lot of like late nights and shit, rapper stuff. So, yeah, it was really grueling. Every emotion that I put in that project, I really felt that either at the time or at some point in a pretty like intense way. Intense enough for me to like fucking like lay it down and record it and like with that emotion behind it and shit, and just hope that it was good.
And it's so interesting about the gruelingness and the transparency of it, because one of the things that stuck out to me at least was you talking about like suicide and cutting and these things that really plague people but are very deep, strong, hard to talk about topics. So part of that grueling transparency process, of course, was talking about that. What was the decision like to kind of include lyrics like that? Because I think some people feel shame or embarrassment around those thoughts and those actions, but for you to put it on wax and give it to the people like that, I feel is so important and so necessary.
Thank you. It wasn't too tough for me because some things it was just like, I don't know if I really want to say that, but at some point I was just like, fuck it, like it's how I feel. I'm not gonna not say it was real because of what people think. Mm-hmm. Like that shit is whack to me, and that shit ultimately just like hurts you. Mm-hmm. And it's just bad for everybody, because you're hurting yourself, and then like you not being honest about that, it prevents others from gaining that type of clarity or gaining that type of whatever that type of learning experience for them too, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of it is just kind of like perspectives too. They're perspectives that I know are there, that I felt myself. Just like, fuck it, that's what I have to talk about, so I'm just gonna do it and just whatever, see how it comes out. A lot of my music kind of happens like that. It's just like my raw kind of like feeling at the time or whatever. So it ends up being like therapy to me, or like cathartic.
I love that though, because the therapy and the catharticness like definitely show, and you can only hope that goes on to other people, so when they listen it's therapeutic for them and it kind of gives them something to relate to. So I just feel like that's super necessary. And we have to talk about Trapped. The first track on the project, you really invite us in and kind of bring us into this world to where it's like, hey, I'm gonna be late for work, I shouldn't have drank last night, like my girlfriend's gonna be mad at me, like just bringing you into this space of like, man, these are all things that I shouldn't be doing, but I did them last night. And it really just ties into what I learned. But I think the most interesting thing to me is on Trapped, on the second verse, you tell this crazy story, or maybe it's a fantasy, or I don't know, but basically it's about a drunk driving incident.
I'm wondering why I decided to drive the truck while I was drunk. I tried to break, tried to escape like when I used drugs, but the other dude involved must have kept it together like a marriage. I thought I would be spared if I prayed that day, but soon enough that dude was off while his wheels fell off, and he'll get off so scot-free. A couple bruises to live with, but not me.
And I'm just super curious what that stemmed from.
Oh, wow. That's fucking tight. Real quick, I'm so glad you listen to words. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, people, they just listen to my shit or whatever, or just in general, and be like, oh, that's tight, and like, just keep it moving. But like, whenever people like actually point out shit that they really listened and heard, it's just like, holy fuck, you care. Thank you very much. That's so tight. That's tight. Thank you. But that whole idea, that song stems from okay, I started writing it on 420. Mm-hmm. Like 2 years ago, because everybody around me was like glorifying drug use and just whatever, and I got mad about that, and I was just like, dude, like, I mean, people, they're gonna do whatever they want, whatever, but like, don't sit here and act like it's a good thing, like it's a good thing for you, personally, to me. So I was just like, fuck that, dude. I wasn't gonna go on Twitter and fucking rant about it or whatever. I was just like, I'm gonna just write it down, and then like, that's how the song came out. So it's like, that whole thing is like a story that I made up about like a teenager who drives home drunk and then like gets hit and killed by another drunk teenager. And I guess that's like the backstory or whatever. And then what I talk about in the song are the things that, the teenager is going through or whatever. And the person who killed the teenager is like dealing with the same shit that person is. Only like one person died this time. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like when I said I was being like aware and shit, it's just, being aware of these negative things that you're doing, and, just not thinking of the consequences or whatever. So yeah, that's like the whole idea of it pretty much. I mean, throughout the project, like it's a lot of how I feel personally whenever I sprinkle it in there or whatever. But yeah, that's a story I made up.
It's so crazy because the way you told it felt so real. Like, it's such a good story. In my head, I'm like, whoa, like, he seems like a fairly nice guy. Like, did he really do this? Like, I was really like, oh shit, is this part of his story? Like, this is crazy. So the way you told it is just incredible. So, man, oh my goodness.
Thank you. Wow. I'm so critical of my like work, and especially just looking back at it a little bit. I'm always kind of just like, damn, I could have did that better. Damn. But thank you. That really means a lot. And I feel like, honestly, for that song, I feel like it was so important to wrap the song around being trapped in your own, like, emotion and shit. I've never really heard anybody or, a lot of people transparently say that statement or something. Like, sometimes I get trapped in all my fears or whatever. Like, that's, like, a real-ass thing. Like, a lot of people, whether it's, like, minimal or, like, a lot, like, that's a very universal thing.
Definitely.
Niggas get scared. Like, I thought it was cool to just put all that in like a story and really like challenge myself to make something like that. Mm-hmm. So like the fact that you received it as real is really cool. Like people think I'm an alcoholic after listening to the fucking project.
No, literally, because even there's another line, I forget on which song it was, but you were like, all I got is this felony. And I was like, oh shit, he really is a drug. I went way too far into it. And then like there's the mom interlude and like the phone cuts in and it's like, you have 60 seconds left. And I was like, oh my God, he went to jail. Like I read way too far into it.
Nah, no. You know what's crazy? You are the closest person to any idea about the project, like ever. Like out of whoever listened to it. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna tell you. All right.
I'm so excited.
So thank you for just listening deeply. But okay, that line that you're talking about, where I'm saying all I got is felonies, mm-hmm. That was like a mental state of mine. It's just a way of thinking. I've never been arrested, I've never been to jail. Anyways, it's like kind of getting stuck in your own head, or getting stuck in your own thoughts about whatever, and kind of like that song is like expressing doubt, like on a track, mm-hmm. if that makes sense. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm just kidding, I actually have never been to jail, but like that's where that stems from. And the interlude, the mom interlude, I wasn't in jail. My mom was actually in prison, and that was a real recorded call.
Whoa, that's super interesting. Now a lot more things kind of make sense too. Okay, I'm here now.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, my mom, we were just on the phone, and then I just like recorded it with my other homie's phone, and then whatever you got was like what you got. Like that's what I mean, where it's like a lot of it actually, you know, is really just how I feel, you know, or like my situation or my experience or whatever, like, and I just sprinkle it in there or just put it there or whatever, like whenever, you know, there's like songs on there that completely pertain to me. It's like my song, you know what I mean? And then like there's other songs like Trapped or other ones or whatever where it's like more in the perspective of somebody else, but it's still like some or more of, you know, my personal feelings too, you know what I'm saying? To make it.
That's crazy. Now that makes me like want to listen to it even more. Like I'm like, okay, now I got to give it a whole nother spin with like this new perspective. So that's incredible.
That's tight. Thank you. I worked fucking hard on this project. So there's like a lot of like small intricacies or whatever that I know or that, you know, whatever that nobody will ever know unless they like ask me, unless I just say it. But there's like shit in there.
There definitely is. Oh man. Speaking of working hard on it, I think the features that you chose were incredible. They completely fit the project, like, and just made it so musical and so beautiful. How did you team up with the features for this project?
Hey, that's tight. They're going to be fucking happy when they hear it. All right, so first, like, I had two features, and one of them is a singer. Her name's El Shaddai. And then my homie Oliver Taylor plays trumpet. I met Oliver because I was asking my homie Nayala, who's actually the girl on Mesmerized again. That's Nayala. I was asking her, I was like, yo, do you know any, like, instrument players or whatever? Because I need instrument players somewhere. And then she gave me 3 numbers, I think, of one person who played the sax, one person who played the trumpet, which was Oliver, and then somebody else. And I hit all of them up. He texted me back, and me and Oliver just started talking off that, and then he sent me some of his music, and I was mad as fuck, because I was like, fuck, your music's fucking good. I hate you. I hate you right now. Fuck, I'm so basic right now, bro. This shit's tight. And then I just sent him my trash or whatever, and then, like, we became friends off that. And then I think we met one time. The first day we met, we were, like, in the studio for, like, 5 hours or some shit, and we just started playing shit over, you know, a couple of my songs or whatever. It was really fun. It turned a whole new page in the project, and just, like, in my mind. Because before that, I was just, like, mainly rapping or whatever, just making songs. I was making songs, but, like, not thinking outside of the box to, like, hey, reach out to an instrument player, or, like, for El Shaddai, reach out to a singer or whatever. And I think I met El Shaddai the same way. I met El Shaddai through my homie Ryan, and Ryan is the one who, like, recorded and mixed the project, because he just knew people and shit. So El Shaddai came through, and the first session, and she, like, knocked it out. She, like, did her shit, and that was it. And we never talked again. But fuck it, I'm glad she did that.
That's bittersweet, but I'm glad she did too.
She ghosted the fuck out of me. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did, I swear. I was, like, asking myself. I was asking Ryan, what the fuck did I do? But I don't know. We're cool, though. We're homies.
We got the music, so, you know.
Yeah, we got the music, so I'm happy about that.
We got it. Now, did you work with a few producers? Like, what was the production on this like? Because it's so musical, and, like, Oliver brings that element, but what was the production process like?
The production, it was mainly, like, fuck. Yeah, honestly, it was just, like, people that I knew or that I reached out to, and they sent me beats. And, like, I made a cohesive project out of that. That was, like, just what I had, kind of. It wasn't, like, I hadn't, you know, started making beats yet. I wasn't getting into that at that point. And then I was just in a space where I was like, I was at the studio or whatever, or just wherever, and whoever I was meeting, wherever I was at in life, at the studio or, like, just online or whatever, it was just people that I just reached out to, like, yo, you down to check out my music or whatever? And just, like, they actually checked it out and they liked it or whatever. So then off that, I just asked, like, I think, like, 5 producers. I think on the whole project there's, like, 5 producers, and I think I got, like, one of them gave me 3 beats, one of them gave me 2, and then, like, 2 separate producers gave me the other 2, or some shit like that. So it was, like, really a little bit. I made, like, a lot with a little bit. It was just kind of going through those beats or whatever, and just ideas with the beats that I have personally and just shit like that, and just, like, pulling together all my resources and just putting together something that sounds like somebody would actually listen to it, you know? Mm-hmm. It was challenging. It was fun, though, most of all. Because, you know, most people or whatever, they either have a team of people who work with them or, like, they're in a group or they've been producing for a while and, you know, they already know the ropes or whatever. For me, it was like, okay, I make music. I don't have a team. Okay, I'm going to go get one. Fuck it. Like, I'm going to just go ask people to just, you know, and make what the fuck I can make and put it out.
You fucking did it, though. That's crazy. Like, to hear that it's a bunch of different producers, like, you would think at most it was, like, 2 different producers, because if you think about, like, MaZe or, you know, something like Revolution, like, those sounds are so different. So you're like, okay, maybe it's 2 producers. But to hear that it was, like, a plethora of producers and you kind of, you know, stitched it up to make it cohesive, like, that's incredible within itself. That's crazy.
Wow. Thank you. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Wow. Yeah, like, fuck it, dude. I'm going to make something. That was my mindset. I had just moved to LA, so it was like I literally did not know a lot of people. I knew like 3 people or some shit when I came out here. I had no time to like waste, and I was like stressed out and shit already. So I was just like, fuck it, dude. I'm going to do this. Like, there's no like failing. And actually, the dude who produced MaZe and like Revolution is the same person.
Oh, wow.
He produced MaZe, Revolution, and Mesmerized. And gave him to me, and I was just like, all right, for show.
Can we shout him out? What's his name? Let's give him the credit.
His producer name is like Corey Kale. Kale, not like the vegetable. Cail. Me and him don't talk anymore though, but it's cool. Like when I'm saying like it was really just like people kind of in my life and then kind of like out of it. You know what I mean? Like you gave me beats in the process or whatever. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna use it. This project and just that whole process was me like finding myself, or on the road to finding myself, finding my type of people, you know, finding who I get along with, who I don't get along with, and just finding my circle, my niche, my whatever. So a lot of it was like, and I moved, so it was like I wasn't around consistent people, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. But that's so important. Finding people that you really actually vibe with. Like, because I think a lot of people get caught up in like, oh, well, I've known this person since high school, so like, that's my best friend. It's like, but do you guys even vibe anymore? Like, really finding those people that are your tribe is so important. But also, like, I'm laughing because you're so like blunt about the fact that you don't talk to these people anymore. That's part of life too. Just being like, oh, okay, well, we made something together, it was dope, but hey, for whatever reason, we don't talk anymore, and hopefully you're at peace with it, I'm at peace with it. How you were even saying earlier, like I checked in with myself and my friends and was like, did I do something wrong? That self-awareness and just being at peace with situations is really a part of like growing up, and it doesn't have to be drama, and it doesn't have to be this crazy ugly thing. Like, hey, we made something, it was dope, now it is what it is, and it's not a good thing or a bad thing. I love how blunt you are about that because it's so important.
Yeah, I feel like that's important too. It's like, yeah, you nailed it. Like it's regular. It's regular shit, and that's what I've been learning just recently because I'm 20. So like, what I've been learning is just, you know, you're gonna just meet people. And then whoever is supposed to be in your life or whatever, you're gonna find them. Like they're gonna be there. For me, I'm like an extrovert, so it's like I like being around a lot of different people that I get along with, because it's just like new energy and just new people. Energy is such a cliche word, but like new people and shit, and just like that's how like some of the best music is fucking made anyway too. Is just being around different people and just thinking in a way that you would have never thought if you're by yourself or whatever.
And speaking of the creative process, the I've Been That video is out now.
Goddamn right, I fucking spark any mind from the behind. Shout to Tupac, I've been lying. Father, forgive me in time. I've been through hell and I'm trying. I just been going insane. Stretch your hands, I'm stretching mine. Doubt it's been something that strange. My body, it can't be changed. My changes that I would bring serotonin into my brain, cause these chemicals, they be playing, and I'm balanced and I'm so challenged with rage. And I put that pain on my pages, so feel this pain in from this laundrette. On that bounce.
It's just a good time.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like making that video?
It was so fucking weird. Not weird, but it was fun. It was fun as hell. It became fun. So, like, I'm not famous. Niggas not famous yet. I'm going to get there. But for this process, for this video, I invited, like, a lot of people or whatever. I just put, like, a fucking Instagram out. I was like, hey, who wants to be in a video? You don't have to twerk to be in it. DM me. You got to give that disclaimer, because like everybody trying to get somebody to twerk, and it's not about that. It's about the music. Anyways, so yeah, I just put the shit out, and then like the girls that are in the video, those are the only people that showed up.
But that is an upgrade from the MaZe video, because absolutely nobody showed up for the MaZe video. So onwards and upwards, my friend.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah. No, all these turned out great. These are like happy accidents, I guess.
Yes.
The dude who's driving the car in the beginning, I met him that day. That exact day. And we're homies. He's like right outside. That's my homie Truman.
Nice.
And there's like, I think another white dude at the end. I met him that day too.
The white guy at the end looked like he was like working on set and you just like pulled him in and had him rap along to I've Been That.
What happened.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, hey, bro, you want to be in a video? He was all like, sure. I was like, all right, do this with me now. So it was like no rehearsal. That was like literally what happened.
Yes.
And it turned out really good. Yeah, his name is Chad, I think.
He looks like a Chad.
Yeah, he looks like a Chad or like a Winston or like a Bill.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We'll take him.
But yeah, I think that was a fun video. That was like me challenging myself because like a lot of my music or like a lot of my beginning music was like serious. Mm-hmm. It was just how I felt. That was just what I wrote and how I felt just about life and just whatever. So for me, it was just like, dude, I'm fucking tired of being serious because I'm not. Like, I joke so much, it's actually not even funny. People get mad at me. It's like, shit, I play too much. So for me to like put that out there and just like, it feels fucking great. Felt like I was showing you just different sides of me. I'm not like one fucking thing. Nobody's one thing, you know?
Yes.
And a lot of things that happen with my videos or whatever happen on the fly and it just works. Like at the end, when the girl gives me like the wet willy and shit, that shit was real. That was very real. That was not like planned at all. And the reason she gave me the wet willy was because in the beginning of the video, I threw the banana peel at her. And that wasn't scripted. I just did it. And she got mad. And then she did the little fucking wet willy, so, you know, you piece it together. It's just like shit like that.
And then I want to talk about oratory because I interpreted that, especially, I think it's the second verse, as like a letter to your fans.
Really, I'm just trying to find a place to belong. So I guess I just put my worries in a song. And if I roll it right, I'd probably be one of your main supporters. And y'all could be some of my main supporters. And maybe this could be a different story. But I think we'll just have to see. Anyways, thanks for fucking with the M-A to the capital Z to the H-E. That's your boy Story. Thank you for listening to this oratory. Yeah, smooth shit, cool shit. Troubles on my mind. Yeah, keep it smooth for the last time. And make it cool for the last round.
What was your approach to oratory?
Well, that was like a letter to like future listeners or supporters of mine. This whole project is literally just the thoughts that clouded my fucking mind at the entire time. So it was just like, oh, what do I want to say? What do I want people who listen to know? Like, so that approach was just like, that's what the beat made me feel like. Like I was on the road to somewhere awesome. Not even in a corny way. I feel like that closed out the project like really well.
Definitely.
It was just me saying like, support me and things will be tight for all of us. Because everybody who makes music or just who does something for the most part, they want people to like support them, like listen. Or
That's all.
They want people to like it. They like it first. Obviously, you like what the fuck you make first. But it feels nice when other people like it, you know?
I think people really think that people create just for themselves. Like, oh, this is an expression of me. Like, I want attention. Like, oh, I want these things. But it's really like I'm creating because I want to make something cool for you. And it just happens to be an expression of me. But I really want to share this with the world. And I want the world to enjoy it. Because if I was just making it for me, I would never put it out into the world. Like, I think this is cool. And I want you to think it's cool too because I made it for you. Like, parts of it are me, but really I sat in my room and thought, oh, if I do this, this, and this, maybe somebody else will resonate with it or take it in however they take it in. But it's like when you create, a lot of it is really about other people and they don't realize that at all, I don't think.
I feel what you're saying. But for me, it was the same thing. I just started my music in my room and I was just, like you said, if this was just for like us or like me or whatever, we would not pursue it to get somewhere farther. You don't just make a fucking awesome album or awesome movie and never put it out. Unless you're really only doing it for you and you don't want people to see it or something like that. That's fine too. But yeah, for me, it was just like, dude, I'm making what I feel like making. And if people resonate with it, that's what I want.
Anything else you want to tell the people about what I learned? Out now, go listen to it 2-3 times. Take it all in like we learned here today. There's a lot of intense things that even I didn't catch. So if I didn't catch it and I'm going to go listen to it 2-3 times, that means everybody else listening needs to go listen to it 2-3 times. So anything else you want to tell the people about what I learned?
That's tight. It's fucking what? Like, it's fucking tight. That's it. It's a good project. I don't know. Like, yeah, just listen to it. You figure out if you care about it or whatever you want to listen to or anything like that. But listen to it first. Don't be whack. Like, don't be lazy.
That's all we
Like
ask.
30 minutes long. That's an Office episode.
Yeah.
It's not better than The Office.
But like most people have seen almost every episode of The Office and they're basically just watching it again. Like we get it. Like we turn on The Office sometimes to like fall asleep, to do homework too. Actually turn on this project, incorporate something new into your life. Take on a new challenge, you know?
Use your ears. It's so important to do that in life. And then hopefully you enjoy it. If you don't, that's fine too. But you listen to it, so that's cool.
Definitely.
That's really it. Thanks for listening to this, everybody. Y'all are tight. And real quick, can I give shout outs?
Yeah, no, I wasn't done with my questions. That was on my list too.
Oh, hey, for sure.
Go for it.
All right, real quick. Shout out my nigga Vince. I'm here now too. Shout out Tyler. Shout out other people that I like that make music. Shout out Jay-Z. We're all going to be like, and Pharrell. Shout the fuck out to Pharrell. We're all going to be homies. Y'all just don't know it yet. That's all.
And you just mentioning Pharrell opens a whole other can of worms, but unfortunately, we don't have that type of time. So just know that next time we talk, we have to have a full-on conversation about Pharrell. I think we're going to agree on so many things, but that is neither here nor there. My last question is not meant to be intrusive, but encouraging, and it is, what's next?
Yeah, just more music. Like, more music. That's it. Like, I'm just doing what the fuck, like, I want musically and just, like, having fun, just whatever I feel making. It's kind of interesting because like a lot of times you don't really see the person making the music in the process of actually like finding themselves in it, or just the process of working or whatever. They're just super quiet, and then like their project blows up or whatever. You never really like get to see stuff like this. Just like for me or whatever, like somebody who's not known or anything like that, move up the ladder or whatever. So yeah, just music, good music, awesome fucking music, fun ass music. Shows too. I had like 2 shows last week and they were fucking tight. Like I fucking killed it.
You performed on a ladder. That shit was incredible.
Thank you. I was just like, dude, like, because people fucking like don't get creative with shows or anything.
All.
For the most part. And it's like, dude, like honestly, all y'all niggas rap, that's cool. I'm a nigga who I rap too and make music, whatever. Like, I'm gonna do this on a fucking ladder. And that's not even me trying to be cocky or anything. It's just me wanting to do things that are different and wanting to do things that are just enjoyable for me. That'll be enjoyable for other people too. So they jeffed me for that show. They put me on like before the people actually came out. And then like the dude who went after me, everybody fucking came. And I was like, wow, I had to, all right, cool. But yeah, more shows and another project somewhere down the line.
Was it the same show that you had props as well as the ladder, or was that a different show? Where do the props come in?
Oh, I use props for both the shows. Okay, so, and real quick, the whole little prop thing, if you hear this, don't fucking copy my shit.
Yeah, don't copy the ladder either.
Don't copy that. That's me, and other shit that I make is going to be me. I'm not famous, so let a nigga have his shit. Anyways, I did the fucking, the show at the Virgil. A lot of the shit I got like on the fly. I bought some orange juice from the store and I put my stickers on them because I love orange juice. It's so good. And then like, I gave that to people and shit.
I was just about to interrupt you again and say that I am catching this vibe that you're obsessed with orange juice. So now that's been confirmed. So, okay, cool. We're here now.
I'm pretty obsessed with fucking orange juice. No pulp though. If you put pulp in my shit, I swear to God, I will punch you.
It's real.
You don't deserve to be around me if you put pulp in juice.
We live in 2018. Like, there's devices to take that shit out. Why? What? Huh? Like, stop.
Dude, you're not on a farm anymore.
No.
You have technology.
Yeah.
There's a computer in front of me. Like, we have things. There's Carmex in my pocket, bro. You can take pulp out of juice. Anyways, people are weird. I bought that shit, gave it to people, whatever. And then, like, for one of my songs, Wishful Thinking, the table was on stage, and I grabbed the table and sat on it and, like, fucking emptied out my shit or whatever, because that's what I had already visualized for that song anyways, was using, like, a table or a desk or whatever to portray it better. And then for the show where I had the ladder, I got the ladder from like the studio. I had a desk and like a dresser, and then what is that thing? Like a picnic little table cover or whatever. And I found the fucking dresser in the alley, like
Damn.
the day of the show, before the show. I was like, oh, yo, that's tight. I'm gonna use that, and then put it together like that day. And it turned out really good. I think it turned out really good, really fun.
That's so dope. I don't want people to copy it at all, but I want people to be inspired by it and to just think outside the box. You found that dresser in the alley. Like, yeah, we go to shows and we see, you know, people like you mentioned, Jay-Z and Tyler, like do these incredible sets with these crazy things, but it doesn't have to be all that. It's just really stopping to think and going, a bunch of people are going to hop up here and rap. What makes me different, and what can I add in any way to just kind of bring another element to it? And it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be crazy elaborate. Just really take that time to think outside the box. So, man, incredible. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, this is my actual final question. So the people may or may not know this, but basically you spoke this interview into existence, which is incredible to me.
Yeah.
It just goes way back on Twitter as far as like just tweeting me saying like, I'm going to be on your show one day. And I'm like, okay. And then over a year later, me stumbling across your music and going, oh shit, like this guy's actually dope. Like I need to get over the fact of my embarrassment that I kind of ignored him. He's really dope. Like I need to actually talk to him.
We're friends. It's okay.
I'm happy it worked out. But has that been something in your career thus far that has worked for you in other areas? I'm just super curious about that, because people talk a lot about speaking things into existence, but I'm like, oh shit, you actually did it. In my experience, people, not tons of people, but there's occasionally people who like hit me up and they have no clue what actual music I really like, and you know what I mean, they're just basically spamming. But you actually make good music, and you know that your music ties into the other type of people that I enjoy and I talk to. So like it really made sense. But on top of that, like it was really just speaking it into existence without being blind and just kind of spamming people. So has there been other things that you've been like, oh shit, like I spoke this into existence? Because I'm just fascinated by that in itself.
Wow. Yeah, dude, speaking things into existence is crazy. Like thinking about that same thing right now, it still trips me out, because it's always shit like that happens kind of for me. But I performed at South by Southwest this year.
Nice.
That was fucking crazy, because like when I was younger and I got into like hip hop and shit, I was like watching all my favorite rappers perform at South by Southwest when it was like popping. I never thought I would even get a chance to go, like just to go, and I even performed just to go. Never thought so. And then I put out the Wishful Thinking video. Yeah, this was early in the year. And then these dudes like found it and then asked me to interview me about the video because they really liked the video. And then like a week later, they asked if I wanted to perform at South by Southwest. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the hell? Like it was so random, but it was just like something that was always on my radar. Like last year, I was just like, damn, I don't know. It's like, I hope I get to go, you know? It was just me saying, I hope I get to go, like. And then I actually got to go. That's
interesting, too, because the Wishful Thinking video is what put me on Game to You. Was I was scrolling through a website, and that video popped up, and I was like, oh, shit, this is dope. Now I got to go listen to this whole project. And then going back on Twitter and be like, oh, this guy hit me up before, and, like, it just coming full circle. But the most important part of that is people think that videos don't matter anymore, or they just put out bullshit videos of them doing nothing.
That shit is so whack.
Yes, the Wishful Thinking video proves that on that video alone, you got so many opportunities and you opened so many people's eyes. So it's just like really cementing the fact that videos still do matter, especially powerful, beautiful, well thought out videos really matter. So I just wanted to make that super full circle and tell these kids that I'm tired of the bullshit ass videos. Make something serious, you might go somewhere.
Thank you very much. And it's because like I care about everything I do. I want everything I do. Ideally, I just want it to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so that like drives me crazy and shit. So I just want everything to be like great and exciting and interesting. And like, I make my own music and like I direct my own videos. So it's just me seeing my, you know, complete vision and shit and just getting better all the time with everything that I'm doing. So yeah, it's like, bro, videos are tight. When did videos stop mattering? Videos are fucking cool. Like literally, I saw the Yonkers video when I was like 14. And off of that, I legit got scared at first, but I was like, yo, this video's fucking tight. Shit like that. Just when people are actually creative, like if everybody like put their minds to doing creative shit, like really put their minds to it, like you wouldn't get tired of things. Like, yo, everybody wants to do like just simple shit. And it's just like, bro, like you really look like you didn't even try. Like, and that's cool. If you got views, hey, that's cool. But like, the shit was pretty whack though still. Because I'm being honest, that doesn't mean like it's like a slur on you as a person or anything like that. People take shit too personal. It's just not that tight. Get more creative, do cooler things.
We're not trying to knock you for making a whack video, but just try to be a little more inspired and encouraged and put some more thought into it, and we'll thank you later. And
it'll be fun to see that though anyways, you know, for different types of music.
I really feel like we've given the kids too much game today, so we got to stop before we just really overload them, and we're going to have to charge them for it, because this has been a lot of game.
Going in. I need $12 an hour. Is that minimum wage?
You know, here's my Venmo. Let's get it popping. You're welcome.
For sure.
Oh,
like
man.
$12, that'll get me like some Hanes shirts and like some juice.
It's a lot of Jack in the Box tacos, my friend.
$12 for, oh my God, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's 24 fucking tacos. Give me $12. I am cashing the fuck out on tacos with no cheese.
Oh.
Like, shout the fuck out Jack in the Box tacos with no cheese. Yes.
If you see either I or MaZhe in the streets, you know, just walk up and ask about the tacos with no cheese, and we'll tell you the story. Let's keep it that way.
I'll let you know, but don't disrespect me about it, because I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yeah, I almost lightweight disrespected him just out of pure shock. So, you know, it's cool. Don't disrespect the man. Well, thank you so much for speaking this into existence and for coming on to the show. And honestly, at the root of it all, thank you for making great music, because you can speak whatever you want into existence. If you're not making great shit, it's not going to happen. So thank you for making great stuff, and thank you for being on the show.
Wow. Thank you very much for having me. It was really fun. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Whoever's listening, thank you. You look great today.
Tell him. You do look nice today, and thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Special Delivery Podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button on whatever you're listening on, especially because I got episodes coming up with Jack Harlow, Abjo, Reggie Snow, and so many more. And also reach out to me. Let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. I'm on Twitter at SpecialSays, and on Instagram it's at SpecialSays as well. And as always, this episode is dedicated to Marlon. Do what you can to stop senseless acts of gun violence.